As the song goes, video killed the radio star, but can it also help save at least a small part of it? Some of the most iconic classic rock songs of all time broke the trend of radio played tunes clocking in at 3 to 4 minutes in length and instead went on for 7, 8, or even 10 to 15 minutes. Such classics were not only fan favorites on the radio, but also during live performances, which often extended the tunes even longer. In this episode, we're going to take a look at how the modern music landscape is being affected by the emergence of short-form video platforms and how current emerging artists could potentially use long-form video platforms like YouTube to recapture the magic of extra-long songs. We're sure you'll have thoughts based on your own experiences, so please drop them in the comments.
Sorry for the interruption, but we're excited to announce that we now have a relationship with Guitar Center, one of the largest musical instrument retailers in the US. If you'd like to financially support our channel, then please use our special link in the description below to make your next musical instrument purchase from Guitar Center's online store. We'll give you more details at the end of this video. Now, back to the show.
Perhaps the best place to start is to understand what we mean by extra long songs. Traditionally, most rock songs were 3 to 4 minutes long, for a bunch of reasons we'll talk about soon. However, every now and then, a powerful artist would push their label to let them release a grandiose masterpiece that would run much, much longer. Labels would resist this because they didn't think that radio stations would play them or that fans would listen to them. Of course, they were completely wrong. In 1968, the Beatles put out Hey Jude, which went on to become one of their most iconic hits, even though it ran for an unbelievable 7 minutes and 11 seconds. That success triggered a tidal wave of similar hits during the 1970s. In 1971, Don McLean released American Pie, which ran for 8 minutes and 33 seconds, while Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven was just over 8 minutes. Other iconic hits followed suit, including Lynyrd Skynyrd's 9-minute Freebird in 1973, Queen's 8-minute Bohemian Rhapsody in 1975, and the Eagles' 7.5-minute Hotel California in 1976. In the following decades, other artists released their own long songs, including 1984's 8-minute 41-second Purple Rain by Prince and 1991's 9-minute November Rain by Guns N' Roses. Over those decades, fans were also treated to long-duration hits from epic rock artists like Pink Floyd, Genesis, Bob Dylan, Dire Straits, Rush, Iron Butterfly, Radiohead, and Marvin Gaye. All of these rock songs flew in the face of conventional wisdom by running on well past the accepted length for radio play. However, they also went on to become some of the most beloved and iconic tunes in rock history. So why were these songs considered so risky by the labels? Why did they think that radio stations would not play them? Is there a right and wrong length for a song? And has that answer changed over time? Let's take a look. First, we have to remember that rock songs were traditionally 3 to 4 minutes long for a variety of reasons. It all started with the original 78 revolutions per minute phonographic records, which could hold only 3 to 4 minutes of audio. When 45 revolutions per minute singles emerged, they offered better sound quality, but still with the same limitation of 3 to 4 minutes of audio. After that, it became more of a business decision. When rock music started becoming popular, radio stations wanted to play as many songs as possible every hour in order to give them enough time for the DJs to provide commentary and to run ads for their sponsors. Also, when the longer 33 1/3 revolutions per minute album emerged, labels wanted to fit as many singles as possible onto each album. All of this reinforced the length of rock songs at 3 to 4 minutes. However, that has been changing significantly over the past 10 years or so, with the advent of new technologies such as the internet and mobile devices, as well as new platforms such as social media and streaming services. The average length of songs has actually been getting shorter. In 2013, the average length of a song on the Billboard Hot 100 was 3 minutes and 50 seconds, but by 2022 that had dropped to 3 minutes and 15 seconds. That may not seem like a big drop, but since that was an average, it means that there were likely many songs shorter than 3 minutes. In fact, Spotify's own research shows that more and more songs on their platform are being specifically written to be less than 3 minutes long. Also, it found a significant increase in the number of songs under 2 minutes. Another interesting study found that the average intro to a song in 1980 was 20 seconds, while in 2019, it was just 5 seconds. While the downward trend is undeniable across all genres, the reasons for the trend are a bit harder to grasp. There are many contributing factors. First, streaming platforms pay artists based on the number of streams, not on song length. Therefore, shorter songs encourage repeat plays, which increases an artist's revenue. Not to be overlooked is the overall trend toward shorter attention spans driven by the rise of social media. This forces artists to grab listeners' attention quickly and to keep them engaged throughout the entire song, so shorter is better. In the video world, the virality of short-form platforms like TikTok actually reward content that can be consumed quickly in less than 60 seconds. While musical artists primarily use TikTok to promote short clips of their full songs, many are starting to use their TikTok clips as their entire songs. All of this is also driving a structural change in how songs are composed. Instead of a traditional verse-chorus structure, some modern hits jump straight into the hook or chorus to grab attention immediately. Heck, some short songs even cut out the verses altogether and simply play the chorus as the entire song. The bottom line is that modern technology is directly and indirectly killing long songs and making it even more unlikely that we will ever get to hear any new iconic extra-long rock songs. Of course, there is no right or wrong when it comes to the proper length of a rock song. This is really up to the artist and the fans to decide on a song-by-song basis. However, if you are a modern rock musician who wants to write an epic 10-minute song, then you'll have to get extra creative. This is where a long-form video platform like YouTube could actually save your artistic vision. In today's world, you do not have DJs, radio stations, or antiquated technology limiting the length of your masterpiece. But you will have to find a way of getting your music in front of your fans and keeping them engaged. Perhaps the best approach is to start with the end goal and work backwards. If you think that the tune you've been writing is going to be, say, 10 minutes long, then you could start with that as your objective by asking yourself, in today's world, what content do people consume regularly in 10-minute chunks? The obvious answer is YouTube videos. While a 10-minute rock song has always been a rarity, 10-minute YouTube videos are often some of the most popular. Granted, these are usually educational videos, but still, people on YouTube are used to watching videos for 10 minutes. Which begs the question, would a YouTube viewer watch a 10-minute music video? Perhaps. Especially if the music video follows the general framework for successful educational videos. As a musical artist, you may or may not have experience producing YouTube videos. Regardless, for this exercise, you will have to think more like a YouTuber and less like a musician. Your video will have to start with a catchy intro of no more than 30 seconds. Then you will need to break it down into, say, 3 distinct chapters. Hopefully, it will all build momentum toward a solid conclusion. Also, the video will have to be visually appealing, engaging, and high quality. This does not necessarily mean spending thousands of dollars on equipment and a production team. However, you will have to think more like a viewer than a listener. For example, a 4-minute music video can be quite successful shot with a single fixed tripod-mounted camera capturing you playing your song in your basement. However, it is unlikely that many fans will watch that video for 10 minutes or more. In fact, for your 10-minute musical masterpiece, you might want to consider partnering with a successful YouTuber or videographer to co-produce the music video. Perhaps that person may have an idea for a video that could be well served by your music. The visual concepts for the video could even drive your musical creativity. In effect, putting you in the position of scoring the video instead of the video reflecting your tune. The bottom line is that your creative genius for a long rock song does not need to be limited by modern technology. And in fact, YouTube may actually be the best way to get your song in front of fans who can appreciate it. During its heyday, classic rock was blessed with some of the most iconic songs ever recorded, and many of them had incredibly long runtimes. In today's modern world, songs keep getting shorter, so it may seem that we will never again see an epic, long-duration rock song. However, perhaps YouTube can help provide a path forward for modern creative rock geniuses. What do you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you again soon.
As we already mentioned, our channel now has an official relationship with Guitar Center, one of the largest musical instrument retailers in the US. If you're in the market for a new instrument, then Guitar Center is the place for you to find a wide selection and discover great deals. They offer new, used, and vintage guitars, including bass, acoustic, and electric guitars from Gibson, Fender, Ibanez, Epiphone, Martin, and so many others. You can also get strings, picks, amps, effects pedals, and other accessories. Despite their name, they also offer drums and keyboards, as well as recording and DJ equipment. In other words, there's something for everyone. If you want to financially support our channel, then please use our special link in the description below to make your next purchase from Guitar Center's online store. It's a win-win for all of us.